Ta-da! This is the new front pipe that we're going to be installing into the FRS behind us. Now you may be asking yourself, why are we installing this front pipe when it really is going to have no significant power gains to the car? And there's a simple answer to that. I want my car louder. So I'm installing this catless front pipe in the car. This will be removing the final cat from the car, but we're gonna be doing instructions on how to do this for your car. So even if you have the cat still inside the headers, you can do this or remove one of the cats to make your car sound a little bit louder by just following the video and the instructions that we show you. This is the Berk catless front pipe, and it's actually pretty lightweight. I'm not holding the stock one right now, so I can't tell you how much lighter it is, but I'd imagine that this is gonna remove a couple pounds off of the car. That being said, it is just a straight pipe. And even though this is the final cat on the car being removed, it's not gonna straight pipe my car. The difference between this and a straight pipe car is the fact that this still has mufflers, so it's not just a simple straight pipe. So this is gonna make the car...
Watch where you swing that thing. You've almost hit me like 5 times now.
But it is not gonna straight pipe the car. So in order to start this install, we've already started it without filming it, but you have to do the following. There's a skid plate that blocks your access to the stock front pipe, and you simply have to remove them. There's 2 of them. In order to do that, you have to remove 11 10mm bolts, 8 12mm bolts, and then 6 plastic clips. And after that, you can take off both of the skid plates that block the car. We sprayed the pipe with what?
Skid plates that block the car.
After that, you'll have complete access to the front pipe, and I'd recommend spraying the bolts that are on there with PV Blast, but you don't have to. It's just gonna make your life a little bit easier. After that, we're now gonna show you guys what the next steps are, so let's get to it. How hard can it be? Mitchell, please give me the front pipe.
It's a rocket launcher.
Pew! Pew pew pew! Pew pew! I'm currently taking applications for a new helper to help me with these installs because I'm sick of Mitchell. So if you guys want to apply, just leave a comment down below and you guys can help me out with some installs.
I don't think there's anybody who can replace me because I always have to remind you, righty tighty, lefty loosey.
That's true. It's sad, but it's true.
So, we're just working and this started happening. We heard thunder. Really glad we're working inside the garage today. I don't think we ever don't, but
I need it on my Snapchat story. Follow me on Snapchat. So the first piece of the install is going to be to remove this bolt right here and its corresponding bolt on the other side. They're both 14mm and it's super easy. Once again, we started off by spraying that with PB Blast just to help it loosen, and I'd recommend you guys doing the same to make sure that this all goes smoothly. I don't know how well you can tell, but this right here is the 14mm wrench that we're using to try to get off the screws and the nuts that attach the front pipe to the over pipe. And because this is so short, it's practically impossible to break the bolt that connects the over pipe to the front pipe. So just a pro tip, what we used was when we put on that 14mm wrench, we used a mallet to start hitting it lightly to make sure that we could break the initial seal of the bolt, and then we just used this to continue getting it off, which I just made it fall off, but you get my point. Use a mallet to hit this wrench if the wrench that you have is also too small. If you have a long enough wrench, then just use your own body weight, but if not, again, use a mallet. So the next step going down the pipe is going to be removing this screw, which is attached to this hanger for the front pipe. Now we use a 14mm bolt to get rid of this. So after you do that, then we can finally move on to the final piece, attaching it to the cat back. And from there, you can just install the new one. Now, like I said, the final piece to removing the stock one is removing the bolts that go here that hold the catback exhaust to the front pipe. Now, you use a 14mm on this side towards the back of the car and a 12mm on the side towards the front of the car. Then after that, you can just drop the stock front pipe and then we'll get to installing the new one. You buy stock pieces, you will not be missed. Okay, so this is the stock front pipe, the one that we just removed, and it's significantly heavier than the one we're going to be installing. And I thought, might as well find out how much it actually, there it goes, find out how much it actually is lighter than the new one. So this is the, oh my god, I don't know how to do this. C, it's C weight. Cool.
apparently it doesn't weigh anything. Get on the goddamn scale, just hold it. Probably weigh yourself first or after.
What's EE? Why doesn't the scale work? Okay, this is 0. Here's the stock one. 12.5 pounds. Okay. doesn't even register that there's a new weight on there.
Try
Let's try it one more time. This is so much lighter, like seriously. Okay, so we're using a new smaller scale to help figure out what the weight of this front pipe is. Now we set it to 0 when this was on it. So this is about the accurate weight that this is. This is 6.15 pounds. So pretty much half the weight of the old front pipe, which is really impressive. So let's get to installing this and we'll see how it sounds. So the new front pipe comes with a new gasket, which is gonna go in between this, the front pipe, and the over pipe. So we're definitely gonna use this. I wouldn't recommend keeping the stock one. I'd recommend installing the new one to make sure you don't have an exhaust leak.
So this is a gasket. It came off of right here. It was like that. And it goes on, where does it go?
In between the cap back and the front pipe. So you're gonna remove it from the stock one and put it onto the new one.
So yeah, it looks like a ring. Catch.
Thanks.
You actually caught that. Nice.
All right, so now we've installed the new Berk front pipe, and it's pretty easy. You just have to put back the bolts that you removed when you took off the stock ones. Now these, attaching it to the over pipe towards the front of the car, are going to be 32 foot-pounds of torque. This hanger right here is going to be 37 foot-pounds of torque. And the spring-loaded connectors connecting it to the cap back are going to be 13 foot-pounds of torque. So 13, 37, and 32. So now let's hear how it sounds. So fair warning before we start it up, this may blow some white smoke back and it may smell a little bit like burning plastic, and that's just because there's a coating on the front pipe that needs to burn off. After like a couple drives and stuff, it should stop with that burning scent. Another thing too is that if this is your first time going catless or your first time removing a cat from the car, it's gonna smell a bit more like gasoline inside the car. That's completely normal. It's just one of the side effects of removing the cat from the car. So let's do this. Loud, yeah. But like not terrible. Double check to make sure everything's tightened and tightened to the correct torque specs. Then you can lower the car and you'll have your loud, amazing, awesome sounding FRS. I'm super happy with how this sounds. My favorite part about it is that in the lower RPMs, it's not terrible. But when you bring it up to the higher RPMs, that's when it starts to bring out the monster in the engine and it just sounds great. It's incredible how awesome this 4-cylinder can sound. Especially when you put unequal length headers on it. So make sure that you guys do all that. Next video that I'm gonna post is gonna be a video on the sound of this car with this new catless setup. I know I told you guys that we were gonna be installing the new transmission soon, but we postponed that because it was so hot and like weird weather, as you guys saw earlier today, that we just decided to do it next weekend when the weather was a little bit cooler and a little bit nicer to work in. So make sure you guys subscribe to hear the sound of this exhaust when we post our next video, and also subscribe to see us mess up the transmission because we totally are going to. Yeah.
That's gonna take like 2 days.
Yeah, it might. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Yeah.